Hello, guys. Welcome to this very special episode of the podcast, the Women's Day podcast. And I'm joined today by Maria and Millie. Hello, girls.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me. We are celebrating Women's Day with this special edition, and today we want to celebrate and recognize the women in Eurovision that have meant a lot to us. And let's just start with you, Maria. Is there any woman in Eurovision that made an impact in your teenage years through television or through listening to her songs?
I will be very classic. I will say nothing very fancy that I'm gonna say LOREEN. And I think many people would say that. I hear that a lot actually. For me, when I was like 22 and I was watching Euphoria, I totally fell in love in Eurovision again after my teenage years, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And it all started from Euphoria, and then I followed, of course, LOREEN with her music and the things she was saying, because she's very inspirational. And that love between me and LOREEN keep going. And I had a chance to meet her and see her at Eurovision again live, and had interview too with her. So when you talk to the person face to face, it's even more amazing. And honestly, that interview, it was something that changed me a bit. I felt much more confident, much more wow, LOREEN admires me somehow, even though she's nice to everybody. But I felt really that good energy, and then I had such a big motivation to go on. And also, of course, musically, her music is just, for me, it's really calming me down and making me in totally different zone. And this is what music should do with a person. So for me, LOREEN, definitely.
Millie, what would you say is your biggest female influence when it comes to Eurovision, or a performance that impacted you?
I have two, so I have to go with LOREEN, Euphoria. I mean, that was the first Eurovision I ever watched, but I was 11, so sorry. But that I remember watching it in my granddad's kitchen on his TV, and I just remember seeing her do little crab walk along the stage, and I was like, oh my goodness. And then obviously when she came back last year, especially because she came back not only as a second time participant, but also as an openly bisexual woman now. I think that says a lot for that we have someone LGBTQ who's a massive inspiration to so many people, someone who openly supports that as well. But my other one would be Destiny from Malta.
Oh.
Je me cache.
Nice name.
2021, Gemma Cass. Every time I watch that performance, I get filled with such joy. It's just the amount of just fun that she's having on the stage. It's so inspiring to me because she goes up there, she hits those notes like it's nothing. It's crazy. And I think just because she was able to embrace her skin color, her size, and also just get out there and put on a show that was just she was my winner in 2021. So obviously really love her, and just coming from Junior Eurovision as well to the main Eurovision stage and still being able to put on such a show. She's such a huge inspiration for young people, I'd say. So yeah, those are my two.
Yes, what I think they have in common is women that don't necessarily fit the mold or the standard of what a certain Eurovision look or a certain pop star look should have. They just go, they do their thing. They do care to some level about what people say, but they don't let that stop them. I think we do need to recognize their consistency, I think you're able to have comments percolate your skin, like comments that bring you down. You're human, they are human, but it's not, that doesn't stop them. So I think there is power in, even if you're hurt, on keep on going. And I think both LOREEN and Destiny must have had that experience.
Absolutely.
Maybe I can quote like LOREEN's song, I don't care about them all, I just wanted to be loved, you know? So I think these both women, and a lot of women at Eurovision have that they want to be loved, but we don't need to be loved by everybody because it's not possible. Like music is very subjective, so you can love one artist but the other one that somebody else love not, especially also in the looks and like in the vibe, you know. So we just want to be loved, and that's all, and not by everybody, not necessary.
Yes, not necessarily loved by everyone. I think it's a very good quote to live. And I think there's a lot of self-love in just not giving up regardless of the voices outside. They just go. It doesn't matter. They don't listen to the naysayers. Maybe they do, but as I've said before, that doesn't stop them. There's a saying in Spanish. Probably it has its translation in English, but the English literal translation would be, if you're going to do something and you're scared, do it while scared, regardless of being scared. So I think that's something you can see the artists do in Eurovision very, very well.
Absolutely. And I mean,
Yes.
I think when we talk about Eurovision, obviously Eurovision has such a big social media presence now, and especially in the fandom, you get a lot of hate, and a lot of the hate sometimes is directed towards female artists. About, I mean, you can only check Twitter. I mean, I remember checking Twitter whilst Chanel was in the final, and just seeing like comments constantly, just not even about the song, about her body and about all this stuff. And it's like, why are we always subjected to that? Why are we always subjected to the comments about bodies, the comments about our face, how we look, rather than the comments about, this is a really good song, she's dancing her butt off, you know what I mean? And it's stuff like that as well. I think that there's always, like, we judge very quickly. We judge by appearance, we judge by stuff. And I think with LOREEN and Destiny, it's like it's like their talent is so strong that it kind of overcomes all of that. It's not about how they look, it's about how they perform, and it's like how they grab you when they're on stage. And that can be said about so many of the women in Eurovision. That's just two of them. But yeah, that was my point on that.
Yes, I remember also talking to Jonida Malici, who represented Albania in 2019. I asked her, do you think you have to work twice as your male counterparts in music? And she was like, of course. You know how they don't get the comments of like, girl, I don't like the lipstick you're wearing, or why did you choose this color? Or maybe the color clothes choice, yes, but like some of the hair and makeup aspect that women have to endure. It is maybe a topic of conversation that can be very harmful, but maybe some of the male counterparts don't have to go through that.
I remember when Destiny was in her rehearsals, and we were getting some rehearsal footage back in 2021, and I remember just seeing comments and comments as like, Destiny's dress is too short, Destiny's dress shows too much. It's like, who are you to say that? Like, if that's what she's comfortable in, let her wear that on stage. Let her show off. Like, the song literally says, if I show some skin, that doesn't mean I'm giving in. Like, are we not listening?
Exactly.
Like, what? It's crazy. It's so wild.
And that's something you've said that I want to touch on. Like maybe her skirt is, or her dress is too short, but that maybe says more about your own. Whoever said that, it says more about their own level of comfort with themselves than what the Destiny is comfortable in. And I think sometimes these negative comments come from the negative self-beliefs the audience has.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think for a lot of people, it's like, let's see this person in this certain way, rather than let's see this person in the way that they feel comfortable. Like, why should she have to wear a long dress, a long gown while she's singing this dance song about showing skin? Like, it's up to her, you know? And
Yeah.
same with like Hurricane and stuff. When they performed, they had like short dresses on and the big hair, and no one batted an eyelid. But as soon as Destiny did it, it was like an issue. And that says a lot about like women's sizes as well, I think, about how we perceive women in terms of their size. If they're bigger, is it wrong that they wear a short dress? Absolutely not. It's not wrong, you know? We have such different, I think beauty standards for women definitely play a part in what people see as acceptable, what people see as wrong. And I think that does reflect onto Eurovision costume choices like Destiny. And, you know, you can be constructive, but there's a difference between constructive criticism and just downright being misogynistic sometimes. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's strange
Of
behavior.
course,
I've never understood it.
Yeah,
Maria,
but
do you
even
want-
I had that. We actually, not only me, but many like women in my media. We we do live streams and we do reactions, and even though there was a movie, like a video when Ochman was qualifying to the final, that was first time that Poland qualified to final, like after 5 years. So obviously we're very happy. And there was like 3 or 4 comments like, "Oh my God, you're so fat. Why are you so happy?" Like,
What?
It's
no,
like,
really.
what?
Yeah, but that was not the point of video. I was just, like people just make time, like they literally make time to sit, watch the whole video, and then not saying like, "Oh, I'm also happy that Poland qualified." Like, "Oh, you are fat. Oh, and the guy is gay." And we are like, "What the hell?" Like, okay, tell me something I don't know. So obviously
Yeah.
there's too much comments in this a little bit male dominated world like Eurovision. Let's be honest, yes, that to women sometimes these kind of comments like, "You are too skinny, you are too fat, you don't dress properly, you look like shit, you didn't put makeup, your hair looks bad," like all the time, even to us journalists, like, "Hello, I'm not there for myself, here's the star." No, don't look at me, I'm just doing my job, and I don't need to look like I'm going to the red carpet of something,
Exactly,
especially
yeah.
after 12 hours of rehearsals and press center. So that's something I would never understand, and I don't even want to like go into discussions to that with kind of people, or is it about the artists or journalists or dancers or whoever, because it's just pointless.
And it doesn't matter what size are you, because I'm on the skinny side and I've been very little my whole life. And I've always gotten the opposite side. Oh my God, you need to eat more, you need to do this, you need to like, I don't know.
Eat more.
Eat more, eat more, eat more. And it's like, do you think my mother
Yeah.
hasn't been trying to feed me for the past 32 years obsessively? But yes, it's like, and so if for us as the journalists, we also feel that kind of comments. I can't believe how thick skin the artists need to have to not let that
Exactly.
um,
Like daily, we have
daily.
that maybe 3 months in a year when there's a season and random people are coming and looking at this, but the artists, they have to like be fit, they have to be in the best shape all the time.
And nice and pleasant, because that's another
Yes.
thing, the artist must be pleasant.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
you cannot have a bad day or be tired after 2 weeks of rehearsals. No.
Yeah. But when it comes to me, the female artists that really empowered me, or I felt I was super drawn to them, were Vanilla Ninja from 2005. They performed for Switzerland, Cool Vibes. It was the first time I saw an all-girl band playing their own instruments. And they weren't wearing necessarily dresses. They had very elegant costumes. They were not showing any skin, and they were being very successful at what they did. And again, I'm not saying that showing skin is bad. I think it's really empowering, but I had never seen this formula before of women playing their own instruments and potentially being so in charge of their sound and their display on stage. Later on, I sadly sort of discovered they were sort of doing some playback in their live show. So I think, yeah, but at the same time, it was very empowering to see that there was a possibility there. And even if those girls sometimes didn't play live their instrument, it didn't mean that other girls wouldn't have the opportunity or the skills or the ability. So I grew up in Britney Spears era and Christina Aguilera era. And then Avril Lavigne came and she changed that paradigm of what a pop star, rock star looked like. And then I saw Vanilla Ninja that did take that further because there were many girls doing their own individual instrument. And that was like, oh my God, you can have that much control. So for me, that was really a great example. And the other great example was Ruslana that won Eurovision in 2004.
Yes.
Because she had a strength on that stage and a power in her presence that I just wanted to be her so bad. I wanted to have that. Maybe it's like a stage armor, but I felt she was invincible, and I felt that woman could take on everything in her life. So this is this idealization or projection that we have on Eurovision artists that I think it can be helpful for other females to see from the other side of the television.
Yeah, and I would agree with you about her being so strong on stage because I just watched the BBC broadcasted something called the Big Eurovision Party, which was footage from a live event. I think it was a Big Eurovision Party that happened in December or November. I can't remember what it was called, but she performed there. And it was just her on stage, and she's doing her wild dances, and oh my goodness, I could not take my eyes off her. And I mean, I've gone back and watched the contest from 2004, but she's just incredible when she gets on stage. She's got such a power. She's so strong. Like she doesn't need anyone other than herself. She's just there. She does her thing. She puts her heart out to the audience, and then she just walks off like it just didn't happen. Like it's like wow. It's just so strong. I would also mention Jamala in terms of strong women as well. The one in 2016. I always look up to her. That song is so beautiful. The way she performed it, despite all the odds, is incredible, and she's a worthy winner too. So I would like to mention her as well because she's great.
Yes, for me, Jamala is a very powerful woman, but her power comes from a different source. It's her vulnerability. Sorry, I struggle with this word. It's her vulnerability.
Not only you.
that makes her so powerful, because Ruslana is pure power, pure muscle, pure fire. But the vulnerability with which Jamala can convey the raw emotion of that song, it's what makes her powerful. So vulnerability is also powerful, and I really appreciate how Jamala could show power through her sensibility. It's showing us that there are many ways a woman can be strong, through different forces, through different spheres. The super fiery performance of Ruslana, the super emotional, vulnerable place from where Jamala was pouring, then the super sassy Destiny and her vibes. I think the beauty of being a woman is that we can get power from different sources.
I just want to say about Ruslana because I saw her live. I think that was the first time or second besides Amsterdam party. I saw her in Luxembourg this year, and I was literally like on the like press rehearsal. We were sitting like maybe 10 meters away from the stage. The moment when I saw her, it's 20 years from the day that she won Eurovision. She is still the same. She has the same power on the stage. It is unbelievable. Sometimes I struggle to wake up in the morning and do things, and she can dance, sing, have this charisma at herself like that she had 20 years ago. So she is an amazing performer. And Jamala actually also. But that power comes from like more like not from the energy like on stage, but from like inside energy. So that's a good example. But actually, I think all the Eurovision winners, like female, like Netta also, she also struggled with like fat shaming, and what is that? What's that circus comments? And she also made it into the big success.
Another example of having to develop a tough skin, and even if the haters get you down, you don't let that stop you. So you can be down and keep moving forward. As long as you don't stop, that's how you get back to your haters. But let's talk about women of this Eurovision year 2024. Are there any honorable mentions that you are impressed by? Maria?
Maybe Millie first. I have to think about it.
Okay. Millie?
That's good because I have one. Nebulosa.
Cuando consigo lo que quiero, jamás es porque lo merezco. Y aunque me esté comiendo el mundo, no se valora ni un segundo.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
If you, I mean, I don't know if everyone knows the story of the song, but it's based around, I think it's a transgender politician or MP in Spain who was on a talk show, and they were questioning her validity of, being in this position of power, and she was like, "You're not going to speak to me like that. You are not going to hold me back anymore." She throws this glass on the floor and inspires every other woman in the room to do the same. And I think there's something so powerful about not only her telling this story, but also the fact that she is an older woman as well. Like, I believe she's in her 50s. I'm not sure. I'll have to check.
Yeah,
but
something like over 50. Yeah, like beginning
definitely
of
over
50s.
50.
Yes.
Yes. So I think there's something so powerful as well about the fact that we're not just getting younger artists this year, younger female artists that are powerful, but we're also getting an older female artist who is just as powerful. And I think it says a lot to kind of, we've got the old generation and the newer generation, but how music and a message can span that. And I think it's a great feminist message about saying, you might call me old, but I'm still powerful. You might call me a Zora, but I am still everything. Like, she is everything. She's great, and I think she has so much energy on stage. And I'm very excited. I hope you guys get an interview with her when you're in MALMÖ, because I mean, I'm not going to be there, but I hope you guys definitely do.
We'll try as much as we can to make it happen, because this is someone, Nebulosa, I think her name is Maria also, or I really want to talk to her because she seems such an interesting artist and such an interesting woman.
Such an interesting story also behind the career,
You want to let us know a little bit about her story, Maria? From one Maria to the other Maria?
Yes, I think if I read it good, of course, because that was actually a Spanish site, so I used some Google Translator. So, sometimes you can understand things a little bit weird, especially when you translate to Polish, which is like totally different language. So I've heard that she was struggling to find love, first of all, and then struggling in music because she was singing a bit before but never had like a bigger career. And actually, like a couple of years ago, she met the Mr. Nebulosa, the second half of Nebulosa. I'm so sorry, I don't know his name yet. And they fell in love and they started making a music, and they were in San Marino last year pre-selections, and they didn't even get through, like nobody gives a damn about them. And now, hello, they are representing Spain, which is like huge. Spain is a huge country at Eurovision.
Mhm.
And also not only maybe the being representative, but the moment when the crowd was singing with her at Benidorm Fest, I swear, I even said that in my reaction video. That was one of the most powerful moments I saw whole national season, time, because the Spanish people, Spanish like vibe, the emotions, the power they have towards her, even though she's over 50, even though she's not a perfect, singer, she's not, looking like moving like Eleni Fureira or something. She's on her own, like as she is. The people loved her, and honestly, I'm really pleased that they won Benidorm Fest, and we have also like older artists, older woman. Maybe that sounds bad, but like representing different kind of experience in life and also on stage. So I want to talk to her also. I hope she can speak English. If not, I'm gonna learn Spanish.
I'm happy to translate for you if you need a translator.
Okay, then let's do it.
Yes, I think it's there's an obsession with female youth that I don't think it's healthy for anyone. And first of all, because younger girls are very easy to influence. I was actually having this conversation with a friend today, whose friend in his 30s is seeing a very, very young girl. And there's like the power dynamics. You can't control or have as much control when you're so young because of lack of life experience. So I love aging. I am smarter now, and I feel as young inside, but with the wisdom of someone that's my age, of a 32-year-old woman. So I don't think aging is bad. I really do not understand this obsession with youth. And I think Nebulosa, I love her for what she represents. She has a lot of work done because, vanity is vanity, regardless the age.
Glam is glam.
Glam is glam. And I am a firm believer of plastic surgery because power to you. If you want to change something, why would you stay feeling bad? If it's a solution you can change easily, just go for it. There's a lot of self-love. There's a lot of self-love talks, but at the same time, what is the best act of self-love that you can do to yourself if you're really struggling with an aspect that you can change? Personally, I believe you should go for that. So I love to see Nebulosa's face. I think it's fabulous. It's just a reflection of what she's gone through, and she just looks divine.
She's absolutely stunning, isn't she? I remember, I will agree with you, Maria, when that moment where she holds that microphone out, it gave me goosebumps. I was rooting for St. Pedro in Benidorm Fest, but then when I saw that moment when she held that microphone out, I was like, oh yeah, she's taking it. Yeah. And rightfully so. They love her, and there's a reason. Yeah, I just think she's brilliant, and like you can still see her wrinkles and things, and it's like, that's beautiful. Like, I agree that plastic surgery is completely okay, and there's a lot of stigma about plastic surgery where people tend to think, oh, it's because you hate yourself that why would you want to go through plastic surgery, or you look worse with it, or you look better, like why would you want to do it? But I completely agree that plastic surgery, if it's something that you want to change and something that you think will make you feel better, then absolutely, I think go for it as well. But I love how you can still see like the wrinkles, the smile lines and stuff like that. I think it's beautiful. I think she's aging. I don't know what she looked like before, but she's aged beautifully regardless. She's a gorgeous woman, and I'm very obsessed with her, and please send her my love if you interview her. I love her so much.
Yes, and the wisdom you need to survive a contest like that, the older you are, the better. I think the more mature artists have a better time, and they get less stressed, or they let the comments of the outside world influence them a little less, or they can take it with a pinch of salt because they have the life experience. Their career won't end if they wear the wrong shade of whatever color, or if they move in the wrong way, or they mess up a choreography. They'll just keep living, and the sun will rise again. And you get to this point through knowledge and through experience, and your career is not going to be taunted or cancelled. The cancel culture. I really don't get the cancel culture. Like, why? It's like, I don't think people have that much power. If you, the artist will just keep going, maybe a little bit sadder, but it will keep going. But the story, the lyrics of Nebulosa, I love the Zorra song because it's basically a good reflection of women, to how women feel today. Like, they can't win at anything. If they go out, they are a Zorra. If they go out and have fun, they are even Zorra. They are even more. So it's a point, I guess, all of the artists have reached this conclusion. Like, it doesn't matter what they wear on stage or how they act on stage, someone is ever going to criticize. So at least let's have fun doing it, which is I guess the message of the song. Everyone's going to criticize you at some point, so just do what makes you happy.
Exactly.
So yay.
Yeah, Zorra.
Yes. For me, a woman that has really caught my attention this Eurovision is Norway. With Gate, because
absolutely,
she has such a powerful presence on stage, and she can sing, and I forget about time and space when I hear her. That's very good vocals, and she is. She also seems like like she doesn't care what is happening. She's just focused and present in delivering the best performance she can.
I think it's a lot to say as well because she is the front of a rock band essentially, like a rock / like, you know what I mean. I've listened to some of Gata's other songs. It's a lot more rock, and I think that says a lot as well because I mean you see a lot of bands, especially in the rock scene, that are kind of more male fronted, and I think it's a lot that she is stood there as a female in front of this all male rock band. And she's absolutely killing it. Like, you can't take your eyes off her. She's so enchanting, especially when she does that back bend.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. I saw that and I was like, yep, absolutely. Yep, you're in my top 10.
Yes, she's in my top 10. But Maria, you've had time now to think what female of this year might you find more empowering? Did you find
them? I even scrolled the list because I was like, I couldn't think about anything. And honestly, now I appreciate all the artists this year, like female and male both. But I think the most connected I feel with Ukrainian duo. Because of the song, probably. But for me, like, the connections are mostly when I'm there already at the Eurovision, you know, when you see these people, how they move, how they speak, how they look at another people also. Because on the stage, sometimes, you know, you can see people being that on stage and outside of stage, something else. But honestly, I know it's a like female podcast now, but I think this year is very male dominated. Like, you know, I think we have very strong male artists. More stronger than female.
Yeah, I agree.
Luckily, we have Theodora now, who is another really strong female artist, and then Portugal, the favourite to win. I cannot remember her name for the life of me, but she has a beautiful ballad.
Yolanda, something like this. Yes.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's very nice. Name. Yeah, I love it. We have also Polish Luna, and she also actually had to. Oh, that was the worst. I was deleting these comments. I was deleting them like crazy because people were like, she has very like specific appearance, you know. She's very blonde, very like pale, and people were like, why she looks like that, blah blah blah. So you can say everything what you want about the song. You like it, you may not like it. Like, okay, everybody has their own opinion, but criticizing somebody that looks like this is what we speak before.
Mhm.
Like, she is skinny, yeah. So let's say she doesn't have any problem with fat shaming. She's beautiful, so people shouldn't be. But still, people find the way to criticize and say there is something wrong with her, and she shouldn't be represent the country at Eurovision. So my message is to everybody, please don't do it. Let's speak about music, not about, looks, because everybody has its own taste. I can say somebody's beautiful, I can think that, but I would never be like, oh no, you ugly, you cannot go to Eurovision or something like that. So I truly feel for her, because probably she was seeing these comments, and she's beautiful. For me, she looks amazing. The appearance, she's so magic. She looks like, like a fairy tale princess of something. So yeah, I don't get it actually. So
the number one tip of becoming or being attractive is deciding that you are. So
exactly.
it's literally like it's an energy. It's not so much about physicality, because you can see someone like on paper very pretty, but the personality, if it's not attractive, it's not going to attract, as the word says. So I think beauty and sexiness, it's almost a decision to a certain degree. Like, when you decide you are attractive, then you start behaving more attractive and you attract people more. I don't know, it's just it's an air, and there will be always people that don't cater to that, but you can't please everyone, and you shouldn't. You should be attractive also. Exactly. And you are the person that should feel that the most about how attractive one is. So yes, yeah. But you know what? For example, Sylvester Belt, we have not gotten any single comment about his appearance. It's most about maybe his tracksuit got a little attention, but it's about the quality of the song or like his dance moves. But
not about the look, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Same with Dons from Latvia, and same from France. It's all about the songs. It's all about the performance. Maybe they will criticize the staging, but I don't think they will receive critics of them as artists, rather than I don't like the song, I don't like this or that, but it will never reflect on the artist, I think, as a human, which is a double standard I think women in Eurovision have to deal with very, very much.
Yes, but I have to say, like, working in the theater, for example, because I work in a theater for many years, and in the theater is exactly the same. If you are a woman, you have to be skinny blonde to play, Julia from Romeo and Juliet. Or you have to be characteristic, like me, for example, a little bit bigger, with the energy, something like this.
Sass in all the right places.
Yes, everything, like, no. But so these are two types. There's nothing else beside it. Or you have to be very old to play all the mothers and grandmothers, But I'm speaking about like young artists. But if you are a man, you can be whoever you want. Like, you can look in any possible way, and it's always be, attractive to the directors, to the audience, blah, blah, blah. So we struggle with that in the theater also. And I think in music also, like in all the showbiz, or like even internet, like YouTube or something. So I never saw anybody criticizing like a male appearance, only with women, that we are too big, too small, too blonde, too dark, too that, like always something is too much or not enough. And yeah, let's be us ourselves.
Yeah, you can, even if we like refer to, I don't know if you guys saw the Barbie movie, but you can go and look at that Barbie movie monologue where she says, you have to be healthy, but you can't be too thin, because if you're too thin, then you're unattractive. You can't be too fat, because if you're too fat, you're unattractive. You have to have long, straight hairs, but if you have curly hair, maybe that makes you hot, but maybe it doesn't. And it's very much like we're constantly fighting with what society's beauty norms say more than anything. It's more like you have to look like a few years ago it was like you have to be stick thin to fit in, like you've got to be supermodel look, and then it was you have to have dark eyebrows and you have to have a face full of matte makeup, and now it's like you need to be more natural, but you have to dress in
Yeah.
this like
Not too much makeup.
Y2K.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's not too much makeup, and it's like, why can't we just do, wear, look however we want? Why is that too much? Why is that too much for people when a woman takes autonomy over her own body, over her own appearance, over her own costume? I mean, you can only look to America where women don't even have their autonomy over their own body choices over there. And yet we're stuck in this. I mean, people say, do we need feminism? Absolutely we do. We're still stuck, and it doesn't just apply to Eurovision or music industry. It applies to the whole world. It's not just a matter of this is how it affects me as a 22-year-old from the UK. It's how this affects girls growing up in third world countries, girls growing up in America, girls growing up in India. It affects all of us. It's not just one of us. It affects every single female Eurovision artist, and it affects every single Eurovision journalist that's a female. It affects all of us, not just one certain part of the world or one certain culture. It's just, it's crazy, isn't it, that after all these years, we're still stuck in this similar position. We have some more rights, but we're still stuck comparing women's bodies. We're stuck in these societal beauty norms. We've really not come that far.
Yes, and there's also a new group of females in Eurovision that we haven't spoken about, but I think their presence is very important. It's the women behind the delegation, it's the managers, the press people, the camera workers, the light operators. It's so awesome to see that there's more women in those positions. Women can decide the camera angles behind the monitors. Women can put the lighting. Then women can manage other artists, and that not be a problem. Or, it's so awesome to see that there's this equality that's slowly reaching every other aspect of the Eurovision sphere. And I think it's really empowering, because what if you like the show business, but you don't like to be on the stage or be at the forefront, but you enjoy entertainment? What options do you have? There's other ways to get involved. And I think it's really healthy to see women in those positions too.
But I don't know if you noticed, Clara, for example, like last year in the press center, I saw much more women than in the other years. And I was actually very pleased and happy, to see women from all over the world, not only men, because, we know Eurovision is very man-friendly, LGBT, and I totally can understand that, because it's a safe space for everybody, but also for like a women, like that was like a lot actually comparing to previous years. And also in the head of delegations, like we were speaking, like for example Poland, we have also a new head of delegation now, and that's a woman. So I'm very happy of that. And she's actually, I don't know if she's still working, Marta Piekarska, that's her name, and she was working also with the Junior Eurovision Contest, like with the EBU. So I'm very happy that we have a Polish woman in the like in the EBU part of the contest.
Yes, I think it also, representation is very good, because for example, if I hadn't seen Vanilla Ninja on stage playing instruments, I wouldn't have think that's an option for me. So I would have never, I've always wanted to be some sort of part of Eurovision, but I never knew how me, with my very little musical talent, I could be part of Eurovision. And it's because I saw other reporters or other people covering the event that maybe didn't physically look like me, but they were the same gender. I was like, okay, that is also an option for me. I'm not relegated to just either be the singer or be the audience. There's like also intermediate steps I can be part of, and it's very good that female have taken those spaces too. So yes, I'm very, very happy to see that there were more women this year in the press center. and that the people are recognizing that women can make very interesting questions too to artists.
Yeah.
And the conversations with these artists doesn't have to be about hair and makeup.
Exactly.
But girls, we are now going to play a 30-second game. Harry has named this a 30-second game. So I'm gonna give you a number from 1 to 10, and each number is associated to a year in Eurovision. So I'm gonna set the timer on my phone, and you have, well, first we will go to Maria and then to Millie, and you will have 30 seconds to say as many songs that took part that year. But here is the thing: if you get, we will give you like some little help. So if you get stuck on the songs of that year, you can say another number, and we will change the year until the count goes up to 30 seconds.
Oh my God.
But I can also give you some hints. I can tell you who won that year. But that will take a little 1 point away. Or you can have some year for the last 5 years, and all the points will be halved in that case. However, you can get a bonus point if you can name the top 5 of that year. Oh my God, Harry, this game is infernal.
Harry, I will kill you.
Harry,
why?
This is a horrible game because we are not so.
I'm definitely not that kind of fan. I'm so sorry. I might disappoint everybody, but literally, I know only Polish entries every year, and that's all. But yeah, let's do it. Okay, let's embarrass myself.
Okay.
I'm glad Maria's going first and not me.
I've already embarrassed myself in one of the podcast episodes as a guest, so.
I want to be hosting next time.
Okay. Maria,
Okay.
give me a number from 1 to 10.
Let's do number 7.
Okay. It's 2015.
Oh, thank God. Oh my God.
You have 30 seconds starting now.
Heroes, Grande Amore, Million Voices, wait, the Belgian one, Rhythm Inside.
Yeah.
Then there was a Polish one, In the Name of Love. Netherlands. Oh Jesus, wait. Black Smoke, Germany.
Yeah.
Did I make the top 5 already? No.
No.
Not yet. Okay.
No, because I don't think that was the order. And stop.
Okay. I know more for sure.
You got 6 right.
I didn't.
That's quite good.
Was there
That's not
something wrong?
bad.
No, you got 6
No,
correct. You
everything.
said
Yeah,
6
but I know
songs.
more. But it's a pressure. I cannot live under
Yes.
pressure. I'm so sorry.
Millie.
Oh gosh. Number from 1 to 10.
Yes.
I will go for 10. Oh God.
Okay, let's. Oh my God, you got 2019.
Oh,
2019?
Good one.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think I've got this. This.
Okay, ready,
Easy.
steady, go.
Arcade, Soldy.
Yes. Yeah.
Too Late for Love. Spirit
Yeah.
in the Sky.
Yeah.
Zero Gravity.
Yeah.
Hatari's song that I cannot pronounce. Friend of a Friend.
Mhm.
Oh God, what was the Russian one called? I can't remember.
Scream.
Love is Forever. Denmark.
Mhm.
Scream was Russia.
Oh,
I
stop.
love.
Oh,
Time's up, and you got 9.
actually, I'm quite impressed with myself.
Yes.
But that's stressful, right?
It is stressful, but
I've
guys,
got.
it has been really nice to join you because we have to now go and do another video. So we're gonna leave this episode here. But thank you so much for joining in this Women's Day episode with us at the Eurovoxx. Guys, thank you for listening on the other side of the sound system. And we will see you and hear you very soon. Take care for now. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Millie. It's been a wonderful afternoon with you.
Thank you.
Let's move on
Happy
to
Women's
the next.
Day.
Happy Women's Day.
To all the Eurovision fans, female ones especially.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.